Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to analyse the solar radiation on your building that you have created for the technology unit. Um, First of all, if you're on university computers, you do not need to proceed with these steps I'm going to show you in a minute. If you're on a university computers, as long as you have REVIT 2019 open, you should be able to find the Insight plugin located under the Analyze tab on the right hand side. For those of you that are working on your personal machines, to install Revit, what you're going to do is first of all close down Revit, head over to Google and type in Insight Autodesk. Download. The first suggestion will probably be the correct one. If you go to this website, um, what you have to do is just click on the correct download link for the version of Revit that you have. In my case, it's the 2019, but I already have it installed, so I'm going to proceed with that. Once you have it downloaded, um, click on the plugin. It's going to install itself. Just follow the instructions that are on the screen and reopen Revit back up. So once you have Insight installed, and you can check if it's working by just going into the Analyze tab, and then on the right hand side, that's where it's all located. In comparison to other plugins, most plugins are going to be located in the Add-ins tab. However, Insight does have its own tab under the Analyze. So to perform a solar analysis on your building, what you have to do is just click on the right hand side icon, or furthest to the right, and from the first drop down, select solar energy and your PV. From the second drop down, leave all roof exterior surfaces for now. We'll come back to it in just a few moments. And click update. What that's going to do is it's going to run the simulation locally on your computer. It can take a little bit of time, sometimes it's quicker. And you're going to see that a legend has popped up on somewhere on the left of your screen, as well as your roofs have now got colours. So each one of the colours represents a point of the legend. So as you can see, my roof is around 1,418 kilowatts per square meters, whereas the balcony is just a little bit lower, around 1,100. Okay. From over here, we can edit it slightly if you would rather. So if you would like different colours, for some reason, you can click on the legend, click on Edit Style, and currently we are using solar analysis annual isolation, which is this one. We can go into the colour. We can change those colours, so we can change the top colour to be green, for example. Click Apply, and you'll see that it's now changed to green. We can also change the text. If that's a little bit too small for you, we can go into the legend. So we can change the text, we can change the body, we can change everything about the legend. I'm going to leave it like this for now. What we can do now is we can select from the second drop down user selection. You can ignore this window, just close it. And from over here, you can select your own surfaces that you wish to analyze. So you can select different floor areas. Go walls, roofs, keep everything that you'd like to analyze. Just make sure when you finish selecting all of the faces that you wish to analyze, click on Finish on the top left corner, because it will not allow you to click Update. So click on Finish, and now you should be able to click Update, and it's going to run the analysis once again, but on your surfaces. Once again, you can see that the top value is still the highest on the rooftop, even though we've added many different surfaces. Okay, and the last one is going to be all mass faces. So if you have to turn on visibility for masses. This model hasn't got any masses, but I'll show you how to import a SKETCHUP as a mass. Just a moment. So you don't need to follow this step, just bear with me. If I create a new model quickly, I'll show you how to import a SKETCHUP model. So if you'd like to use this analysis for analyzing your SKETCHUP models, go into Mass and Insight, make sure that the mass is visible, and click on Place Mass. You can name it whatever you like. You don't need to name it anything, you'll never see that name again. Click OK. Head over to the Insert tab, click on Link CAD, and find your SketchUp, or many different ones. So you can import a DWG, Rhino file. You can import many different things, but for now I'm just going to keep the SketchUp file. I'm going to keep the tutorial. Click Open. Okay, and that's imported my geometry from SketchUp. to 3D to make sure it's there. Yeah, so there's a very simple shape. Click on Finish Mass, and once again, once you go to Analyze and Solar, we can either select our own faces, or we can select all mass faces. Because we have imported SketchUp as a mass, it's going to select every single face that's visible here. Okay, so all mass faces, update. And once again, we have the same graph. Sorry, no, annual PV. Don't forget to change that. There you go. So this one's a little bit less. It absorbs a lot less energy than the other one, but that's probably because it's not facing south. Also, it's located in a different place. So the previous one, I believe, was in Boston. This one is in London. So now if we head back to our previous project, which is the default one. So this is how you run the solar analysis. Now, if you'd like to change the location, because at the moment I believe it was set in Boston, if you click on the sun icon right at the bottom, click on sun settings, from over here you can change the location. And I like to make this window a lot bigger because once you have all the weather stations come up on the map, it's really difficult to select it. I believe the very first window you get is going to be something this small, which is far too small to select anything. So make that window nice and large. Select the address of the project. So we are going to select Portsmouth, search United Kingdom. Now there is no weather station in Portsmouth. I believe the nearest weather station is in Gatwick, so I'm going to select Gatwick. And airport, perfect. We know that there's a weather station right there. From other tabs you can see different temperatures throughout the entire year. Click OK. And also from over here you can select the time of your study. So you can select a single day, use one of the presets if you'd rather a multi-day, or just a still hour. So analysis at one point. Click apply, and you can just run the analysis once again. It's going to update itself. What I'm going to show you now is a little bit extra, and I'm going to show you how the light accesses your building and where you have too much light entering your building or you have too little. So the next button, just next to the solar, is lighting. If you click on that, in the drop down you shouldn't have any other analysis unless you've done analysis before. So click on run a new analysis, or select run a new analysis. Hit go. And we're going to be running these two analyses, a solar axis and an illuminance analysis. From illuminance analysis, you can select different levels. So you can either select just one level, or if you hold control, you can select multiple. Alternatively, you can select all of them. So you can see that we've changed a minute ago to the Gatwick International Airport. We can either keep that or we can change it. And what this analysis is going to do is it's going to search for rooms and floor areas that are within this threshold of lux. So you can either use lux or foot candles. I'm going to set this at 0 to 1000, so I want my entire building to be within this region, and it's going to be about 2 inches from the floor. Now, this is the resolution. If you want high resolution, keep it at 12-inch grid. If you want just a draft resolution, keep it at 72. It's going to be quicker. Click on check price. It's going to come up with 0 credits and educational for you. Click start analysis, and now you're going to have to wait for quite some time. You can also check the status of your analysis by clicking on the lighting tab, and from the drop down it's going to tell you how many jobs have been successful. So you should have about 9. In my case, it says that it's been successful and that it's ready. For most of you, it'll probably come up with a big window saying update and save, and then you can continue from that. But if it doesn't come up, you can always check it, and if it says ready, just click on that and click go. It's going to come up with, there we go. So this is the window that most of you will probably get. Accept, update, and save project. Just get that Finish. And if you remember from the threshold that I have input 0 to 1000, it's going to tell you how much, how big of an area it's going to be passing that threshold. So at 9 AM, only 25% of the entire area is going to be passing my threshold. 3 PM, 36%. The total is about 20. The total anyway. Knocks. Okay, so now we've got the model. It's also going to show us the lux levels of how much sun is entering the building and hitting the surface. So you can see that the top is 6,000, and that's indicated in red. Once again, you can edit that legend to suit your needs. So you can see all the floors and how they look. But to see the floors better, Insight does create additional tabs on the left that you can click on. So click on level 1 in my case. Once again, in this case, 6,000 is represented as yellow. So you can see that this area over here is receiving a lot of sunlight, whereas this area is going down and these areas are not receiving any sunlight at all. And you can also change the time of the analysis. So at the moment it's set at 9 AM, and Insight does it at 2 different times, usually 9 AM and 3 PM. When you click on the floor plan, it's going to come up with another properties tab, and from over here you can select 9 AM or 3 PM, or just both. 3 PM, you can see that changing. You can select both times, you can see how that looks. Same thing happens on the second floor plan, on the second level. And another thing what Insight will be doing is creating a schedule. So if you go down to schedules, you have a floor schedule, which is the entire floor, and it's telling you that at 9 AM a certain percentage of the floor is within my specified threshold. This percentage, that area is above threshold, and that is below my threshold. So you can't really go below 0, therefore there's nothing there. And then the same thing happens with 3 PM. You also get the same results for each individual room, so within, above, below, and the same thing for both times. But you probably have noticed that it takes a very long time for this to happen, for this to analyze the entire floor area. If you want to do it really quickly, there's a quick way around it that I've learned online. If you go to one of the elevations and click on view, from the drop down select camera, and make sure you untick perspective on the top left corner. Right now, if you select about a meter above the floor and try to eyeball as straight as possible, it's going to create a section cut of the floor area. It's not going to look the same as a section cut, but it's going to be a lot quicker. It's the only way to work with the solar button. So if you select analyze and go back to the solar button all the way to the right, you'll notice that because this camera is not perspective, you will be able to select how much light enters your building. So click on custom, unless you want to put PV panels inside, just leave it on custom. Select user selection, once again ignore this window, and select the floors inside. Click finish, and click update. You'll notice that this analysis does the almost exact same thing as the one we just did in lighting. However, you can't see the legend. It's a little glitch, but essentially you get a very similar result. Not as accurate, but if you want it really quickly, it definitely works. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is the second tab. So run new analysis, hit go, and this time we're going to select the solar axis. And what this is going to do is it's going to evaluate how much direct sunlight each one of the floors is receiving. So if we put a threshold of minimum of 3 hours, keep that default, and the analysis is going to run at Gatwick on September 21st from 9 AM to 3 PM. We can change that to, for example, 8 PM. So it's going to be 11 hours, and we'll see how much. Okay. Um, okay. So that's going to be uploading. And we'll see how much direct sunlight is using each one of the floors for how many hours during that specific day. So whilst it's all rendering, I can show you one um, one three-dimensional analysis similar to this but in 3 dimensions. So if you go to one of the floor plans, for example level 1, and click on the View tab and inside the camera view, you can create any view that you like. It's going to take you to this window. You can click Effect to just look around just to make sure that that's the view that you want. I'm happy with this view. Then if you click on Rendering Cloud, okay, from the drop down select Luminance. You can change this to be a maximum size or a medium size, which I'm going to leave at medium. Use the current day, which, like I mentioned before, sun and the sun settings. It's currently set in Gatwick. The legend, I'm going to change it to Lux, and this is going to be changed to 5000. Leave everything the same, and click render. Click continue render, and we'll come back to it in just a moment. Okay, so after waiting a few minutes for Revit Cloud to finish rendering your Illuminance 3D view, you can click on Render Gallery. It's going to take you to a link. So that's when you open over here. And your latest project is going to be located just on the left hand side. So click on the View Project. And this is the view that we just created a minute ago and sent off to Revit for analysis. So as you can see, it's a three-dimensional view. It's a perspective view of the interior that we selected with the lux levels located on the right hand side, showing you how much light is inside your building. Okay, but now let's go back to the other analysis. So you can go back to lighting and check if the other analysis is finished. And yes, it is. Solar axis, it's ready. Good go. Accept, update, save. This one's slightly similar, however, it gives you a different result. So we can see that 54% of rooms have received more than 3 hours of direct sunlight during September 21st. So we can have a look at it in 3D. You can also enable section box, which is already enabled. Can't see it. Okay, I'm going to ignore that. If we go to the plan once again, this time it's showing you how many hours each floor, each area is receiving a direct sunlight. So you can see that this area is receiving direct sunlight for 8 hours, which I believe was the total hours for the entire analysis. There are some areas which are not receiving any sunlight at all. There are some areas which are receiving only 2 hours the whole day. Same thing on floor 2. And we also are receiving from this analysis a room schedule. So it's telling us that it's got that many hours of direct sunlight within 9 AM to 5 PM. Will it be passing? So these areas are receiving 0 hours, which the minimum was 3 hours as we said before, so they're not passing. But that's basically all of it. You can also have a look at the three-dimensional model, which is just a wide. But if you click on lighting, inside lighting model view, you have to go back to analyze lighting, select which one you had, and click go. It's the same thing, just black and white. There's the section box. So if you'd like to view it in 3D, you can. You need to be on the inside lighting model view. And I believe that is it for this tutorial. We have covered the two most important insight buttons. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to message myself or Alessandro. If you need to get hold of me, message Alessandro. He'll be able to provide you my email address. Thanks for watching.